I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
Of the juggernaut, bitch!
It's not a tumor.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa! I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane!
2 chicks at the same time.
I am the law!
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win. You die.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah!
You're listening to Geek Speak here on Mega Powers Radio, airing for the first time on Thursday nights. Thank you all for listening in. I'll be your host for this evening, Mike Paden, telling you all the nerdy things that have gone on this week. Joining me, 2 very geeky fellows backing me up with their knowledge of the subjects. First off, Mr. Craig Kellerman. What's shaking, Craig?
Bacon. That's what's shaking.
Oh, I love shaking bacon. Also with us, Mr. Rose Colored Reviews, Miss Goss. How you doing, Travis?
I'm fine, and all I can think about is lamp.
Why? What's so special about lamp?
I love lamp. Sorry, I was watching Anchorman the other day. Sorry about that.
Well, let's start talking about what went down this week, because it's been absolutely crazy. We've had beloved movies delayed a lot further than they should be, crazy things going on with the shipping systems. But first, we got to talk about one of America's favorite icons, Justin Bieber, once again finding himself in more and more trouble, perhaps more than he's ever been before. This is breaking news, matter of fact. Just happened earlier today. He was pulled over for illegal street racing initially, and after being questioned by the cop, he was arrested eventually for driving without a valid license, drunk driving, and even resisting arrest. Eventually, he was released for only $2,500 bail, which is the standard, and right now he's pretty much just going around acting like he's done absolutely nothing wrong. Absolutely ridiculous. This guy's a goof.
Well, this just shows you how disconnected somebody like Justin Bieber is from like real society, you know.
I'm laughing at this story because the simple fact is, I know, first of all, I can't stand him, nor do I like his music, but that's not why I'm laughing. It's actually kind of refreshing to show his beloved fan base that he is actually human. He actually makes mistakes, and he actually made a very big one this time.
But he doesn't even acknowledge that he even made a mistake. He has to cop, what the fuck did I do?
Exactly. And on his way to the courthouse, he just goes to his car, poses on it like he's on a magazine, waves to his fans, gets in it, and drives away. He feels no shame for what's gone on with this whole situation. This isn't the first time he's got in trouble. I mean, it was just I think it was 2 weeks ago, his mansion was raided after he caused about $20,000 in damage of egging a neighbor's house. And that's not like that's the only thing he's done either. In the past couple of years, he's gotten in trouble for punching out a photographer. He's been caught in a whorehouse down in, I believe it was Argentina. This guy has just been causing all types of problems for himself. And this may hopefully finally be the one where people finally say enough is enough.
Nah, I don't think so. The long road of ruin for Justin Bieber has just begun. Just begun. You know, he's at the point in his career where it's like, you know, his fan base is starting to grow up, I guess. And he's got to stay relevant. So what's the best way to stay relevant? Cause, you know, drama. Like Lindsay Lohan and like all those people, you know, they just went downhill. And that's how they stay in the news until they're irrelevant anymore.
Travis, is that all this is? Is this just a cry for help and attention?
I don't know, because I don't know if Justin Bieber even needs that much attention, considering how much he has right now, considering how big his fan base really is of, again, quotes, devoted fans.
They're called Beliebers?
Oh, yeah, that's
Are you serious?
That's really fucking original. But no, but seriously, I mean,
I'm a Justin Believer.
Oh, man.
Christ.
Don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing.
I mean, come on. I mean, you got a 19-year-old with an endless supply of money. You know, what do you expect?
Well, I mean, that's the thing, because you see a lot of these people, I mean, some of these teen idols who just rise to fame almost instantaneously, become incredibly popular at such a young age, and as they get older, they start going down this route. I mean, it's not typical. It's been done several times already. But at the same time, it's just funny because it's Justin Bieber who actually pulled this stuff.
Well, let's look at two similar teen idols who came up around the same time to him that he had a lot of parallels with, those being Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez. Both Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez, while not to say that they've had the cleanest lives for themselves, have pretty much kept themselves out of trouble. They may have created a weird image for themselves. I mean, people will make fun of Selena Gomez for the Spring Breakers movie and whatever Miley Cyrus has been doing, but I don't believe either of them has been arrested. I think the worst Miley Cyrus got in trouble for was because she was smoking a joint on stage while she was doing a concert in Amsterdam.
Whoa.
Well, I wouldn't even, I mean, come on. Any rock and roll band that goes up and starts smoking on stage, I mean, that just makes them cool. I don't know.
Oh, man.
It's not like she was smoking crack. It's not like she was drag racing down the highway at 4 a.m. drunk.
Gosh. Oh, and by the way, if anybody who's listening who wants to weigh in on this, give us a call at 760-512-7247.
So the big thing that a lot of people are calling for, of course, Justin Bieber, we're fortunate, is not a Native American, and especially not a Native American, but he actually hails from Canada, and a lot of people are calling for him to be deported over this.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
You can have him, eh?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Canada probably does not want him back, I imagine, but what could that mean? I mean, we've seen stars be banned from the United States before, and it could absolutely kill his career. This could mean the end of Justin Bieber if we're lucky.
No, I mean,
lucky. I don't think so, man. He's way too big. He generates way too much money.
I mean,
does he? I mean, he had that movie that came out a couple of years ago that bombed terribly. I don't really know anyone who listens to his music. I mean, I just hear about Justin Bieber all over the place. I couldn't tell you one song he sang. I couldn't tell you anything he's really done.
Baby, baby, baby.
Well, you're not a 12-year-old girl, you know.
No, but also all those 12-year-old girls are 16 now. Do they care about Justin Bieber anymore?
Maybe.
Aren't they into like Russell Crowe now?
Russell Crowe.
I don't know. Just
I don't think so.
Wow, interesting choice. No, but I'll tell you this much. I do like Justin Bieber because he came out with that killer board game a couple years ago.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, there's this board game that Spoonie and the Cinema Snob and a friend of his, they actually played this game. It's like Truth or Dare. It's called Justin Bieber's Steal My Kisses, something like that.
What do you pull a card and you piss in a bucket, or pull a card, spit on your fans?
Wow.
We talked about Marilyn Manson last week.
All right.
Wow, that took that into a rather dark spot, Craig.
Well, hey, that's what he's been known for, right?
Really? Justin Bieber?
He has spit on his fans.
Well, in that case,
both figuratively and literally.
Well, in that case, I hope he does go back up to Canada. It'll serve him right. That's fan.
No, this guy is just a disrespectful little freaking idiot, and I hope he finally gets his medicine for this. I mean, I hope just because he's a celebrity, he doesn't get off like he has for every other dumb thing he's done in the past, and all of his fans just forgive him. Everybody needs to see, especially him and especially all the younger people who, I guess, if they're still there, are looking up to this guy and need to see that you cannot be drunk driving. You cannot be acting like a dumbass. If you're getting in trouble with the cops, you just got to fucking deal with it and find your way out of it later on and not be an idiot.
You know what, though? But money is a cure for fucking all kinds of ails. You know what I mean?
Okay.
No, I'm saying he's not going to get in any real trouble. He's just going to buy his way out of it.
Well, when you set his bail at only $2,500, yeah, he's going to easily be able to buy himself out of it.
Exactly. It's not going to affect him. Oh, even if he loses his license, he's got a chauffeur. Like.
The thing is, too, I mean, does Justin Bieber even have any endorsement deals? Because if he does, I'm pretty sure they're going to be pulling out.
Oh, I couldn't claim to be the knowledge of such a thing.
Who would endorse him?
Maybe
his record companies? I don't know, man. He's kind of just riding on his own popularity.
Oh, man.
Maybe he could be the next YouTube star and just keep making YouTube videos at his home in Nova Scotia or wherever
That's how he started.
That's how he started, yeah.
Oh, is it? Well, that would just be appropriate then. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up this topic. We're going to take a short break. We're going to listen to a tune called Pure Awesomeness by a good friend of the station named Chris Grant. You may have remembered him. We had him on here for an interview as he was getting up on when he was on USA's reality television series Summer Camp. He ended up winning that, so we're very proud of him for that, and now he's trying to take his success over to the rap game. This is his latest track, so check that out while we take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Batman vs. Superman and how it was delayed into 2016.
Sometimes the brothers got to get some things off their mind just as well. So let me be the one to do that. The situation changed, this situation is strange. Been through it before, but this section just ain't the same. I try to forget about it, but the matter remains that the situation lingers around. I think it's ingrained in my psyche. Do you like me or wanna knife me? Right through my heart so slightly and precisely. Take away my soulmate, is it quite likely that you could be my only homie? Throw me for a loop, you say you hate me, you don't know me. Messing with them corny dudes that can't even approach me. You need a sponsor, mama, I'll show you just how to coach me. Need a sponsor, mama, I'll show you just how to coach me. Take time to give love another shot again. You two stepping out my life like a Dominican. I don't wanna be a player on the run again. Messing with them other bitches, having all my fun again.
I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, but I want you.
But I need you.
I don't mean to, I don't mean to, I don't mean to, I don't mean to, but I love you.
And I love you too. I'm out of energy, don't wanna fall in love again. I kill Cupid, how the fuck he get a gun again? Hit the block, run game with the hood again. Overwhelmed with emotions, I can feel the blood again. Running through my veins, I'm hating it when it rains. Cause the first time I saw you, a year from the hurricane. You remember that? Leaves all spinning right, giving you everything. Draws all in it right. Now you on the ice, pick niggas in they ribbit night. Crazy, I'm dealing with shit that's so ironic, right? Sometimes I think about it, how can I live at night? But consequently, my actions came with reaction. And it takes a love to understand we can patch up what happened. And if you with it, I'm with it, baby, let's get it cracking. If you with it, I'm with it, baby, get it cracking.
I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, but I want you. I don't mean to, I don't mean to, I don't mean to, I don't mean to, but I love you.
We're back here on Geek Speak on Mega Powers Radio, airing for the first time here on Thursday nights, and we'll be continuing doing that every week going forward. We're going to be talking about the recent delay of Batman versus Superman. Now, originally this movie was slated to come out summer of 2015, which was supposed to be one of the greatest years for movies possibly ever. However, thanks to a Variety report, a report from Variety, we're hearing that Warner Brothers is planning on delaying the movie now all the way until May 6th, 2016. And here's the hilarious part. They're saying the reason for this delay is so that they could focus on giving a proper release to Pan, a new take on the Peter Pan story.
All right, I think we should talk about the Peter Pan story at the end of this. But I think other than the release of the Peter Pan movie, delaying this movie is a smart choice, because there are so many big movies coming out next summer that it might just be overshadowed by Star Wars and Avengers and all these other movies that are coming out.
But just to name a few, I mean, you got Star Wars Episode 7, Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man. I believe you have Despicable Me 3 coming out that summer too. There's a lot of huge blockbuster titles.
Well, let's be honest. Paul Rudd being Ant-Man, I don't know about that being any good, but.
Well,
a lot of people said the same thing about Robert Downey Jr. Sorry, Travis, go ahead.
I was going to say, this movie was supposed to come out in 2015, but here's the thing. I was about ready to say, usually when they release a Star Wars movie, it's always May of that year. Like, it's supposed to be May of 2015 originally. Now it's saying that's coming out in December. So that makes me wonder, a couple things. I mean, they could have released this Batman versus Superman movie in 2015, May of next year. They could have done this since Star Wars is coming out in December. But what I'm wondering is, are they just wanting to try to repolish the script? Are they trying to get some different actors in? I just don't understand.
Well, one of the other things I've been seeing theorized around is that they want to tie this in as much as possible with the Justice League movie they want to be coming out. So what they're possibly looking to do is delaying it so that they can get all their eggs in order so that they can shoot these movies back to back and have a closer release schedule when they put them out.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Kind of tighten it up how they did with the Avengers and all those movies that lined up like Thor, you know. But the thing with this is like they don't even have a lot of their shit together for this movie, right? I mean, they're still
that we know.
Yeah, that we know of, I guess. But wasn't there a rumor that Washington, what's his name?
Denzel Washington?
Denzel Washington was going to be the new Green Lantern.
Oh, there's also rumors that The Rock was going to be it too. I mean, a lot of things are just rumors. Just because they're sitting at rumors doesn't mean that they're not confirmed behind closed doors.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess it's a lot of publicity.
And of course...
Go ahead, Travis.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, in 2015, of course, we've already discussed... Or is it this year where... Oh, it's this year that Marvel's coming out with 5 different movies, right? Or is it next year?
I think all they have coming out this year is Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's got to be 2015.
Yeah, so that's probably the only reason why they were probably wanting to delay it until then. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, good news for Marvel, though, is that while DC is delaying Batman vs. Superman, Ant-Man has been bumped up 2 weeks for its release date, up to July 17th. So we'll be seeing that movie coming out that much sooner.
Ant-Man. I got to look that up.
That's the one movie I'm not excited for.
Just the name alone just says this is going to be stupid.
I think we need to be open-minded to it. They've done a very good job with these movies so far.
Did they?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Yeah, I'll give it to them. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Disney has definitely been taking care of Marvel's franchises, but...
Yeah.
I would say they're doing a better job than Sony.
That's a good point.
Yeah. That's the one thing, too. Like, DC, man, a lot of their movies just... Like, Man of Steel wasn't that good. It really just... I mean, it was decent. It was a good movie. But it didn't hold up to, what you would expect from a
Superman film.
A comic book character movie to be. Yeah. Go ahead, Travis.
I was going to say, that from what I understand, and I've never seen the movie, but I understand that Man of Steel did ruffle a few feathers in the Superman community.
Well, perhaps that's even better that they're delaying it a little bit more to try to figure out some of those kinks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they really want this movie to go over well. They're taking a lot of fan input on this. They're being very precious to not offend anything. They're bringing a lot of people in that have worked on various comic books and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They're trying to make an original story. They're not trying to copy anything. They've been very obvious about that, but they're also trying to make something that everyone is going to just be wowed by and appreciate. This is the first time we're really having these characters come at each other in a live-action experience.
Yeah.
You don't want to fuck that up. And you've said that about a lot of things before in movies. Episode 1, of course, comes to mind, but this is another one of those big moments. They don't want to fuck that up, especially when they're so far behind the race against Marvel.
Yeah, and I feel like DC characters are like a bit goofy, and then you have serious characters like Batman, which are a complete contrast from each other, and you're going to mash them up together in one fucking movie.
Well, that was kind of part of the charm of those, was that Batman was always this hard-ass serious dude dealing with all these other colorful wackos.
I know, but in a live-action film, I feel like they kind of have to make their own mythos kind of around these characters to make it work.
I'm just waiting for a Batman movie that's got Harley Quinn in it, and she has a bigger role.
That would be pretty sweet.
Oh, God, yes. Oh.
You would have to have a less serious Joker.
No, I wouldn't mind if they were both very up to their crazy antics. I don't mind that. I just want to see Harley Quinn. That's all I want.
Well, no, guys, with the delay of this, hopefully that means that we're going to really see a lot of tie-ins with the Justice League movie. Something else we saw happen this week is we saw a confirmation for the role of Wonder Woman. Oh, my God, what the heck was her name? Gal Gadot? You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was confirmed for the role of Wonder Woman, and all this reports coming out about her is that she signed on not just for a Justice League movie, but also for a small part in the Batman versus Superman movie, and also a single Wonder Woman film.
Okay.
A little bit more leverage to the possibility that we may see single movies for all the superheroes, of course, including Flash. I don't want to say Aquaman. Hopefully we don't get an Aquaman movie.
I feel like they have to, because there hasn't been, not characters in their comic book forms, and they kind of have to flush out the storylines of these characters, and you can't do it in one movie where it's like you're going to mash them all together.
No, because then you're not going to be able to get to anything with actual meat to it if you try to do 5 backstories in one movie. That's why Marvel's approach to it was perfect. You had one movie for each person, you had your backstory all taken care of, so when we got to the Avengers, we could just jump into being badass.
Yeah, that's what I love so much about the Avengers, and that's what I want to see from some of these superhero movies, is just like a movie, say, with Batman, who's already been Batman for like 5 years. Who's been cleaning up the streets of Gotham, who's already seen a ton of action already, give him something new to face, and not be like, I'm doubting myself. I'm just becoming this thing, this superhero. You know what I mean?
I don't think they have the time to build that up anymore, though. I mean, unless you try to bring in Christian Bale, who, frankly, I don't want to see in another movie as Batman, and I'm pretty sure has no desire to play it himself.
Honestly, but even like, you have Ben Affleck, say, as Batman, just don't make it a backstory one. Just make it like he's been Batman. I don't see why. Everybody knows the backstory of Batman by now. Okay? Just throw him in a brand new movie where he's doing his thing.
Yeah, that's the way they used to do movies back in the day. I think most specifically comes to mind is the James Bond films. We don't spend every movie introducing people to who James Bond is. You know who James Bond is.
Exactly. Or if you want to make like a trilogy, a 3-movie, just do it like in a story arc, but it doesn't necessarily have to be an origin story. I think we're sick of origin stories now.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I wouldn't mind seeing origin stories of people that we haven't seen much from yet, like Wonder Woman.
Right. Like Green Lantern, I'd like to see an origin story for.
But
sure.
I see your point, though. Like established characters that everybody knows, I don't think we really need an origin story. I see your point.
But I guess because we gave one to Superman, you got to give one to everybody.
Oh, well, that's, whatever.
Well, the thing with Superman is that he hasn't had a legitimate movie yet.
Well, excuse me, a legitimate movie?
A legitimately good movie.
Did we fall... Well, you probably weren't even alive in 1978, neither was I. I came a year later. But,
I've seen that Christopher Reeves movie.
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay.
It's good, but it's goofy. But I guess Superman's a goofy character. I mean, he's a Boy Scout.
Well, he's socially awkward as Clark Kent because he's trying to understand mankind. That's the main thing about him.
They should make a Superman movie more based around Clark Kent, and like Superman is kind of the side thing.
Well, as you say that, actually, we got a comment in the chat I want to bring up here. DDA Bridged Official says they will probably just have him as early Batman, like he is still new to Gotham, but we don't need a backstory because he is secondary to Superman. After all, this is a Man of Steel sequel. Very good point, because we got to keep in mind this is all stemming off of Man of Steel, and while they're calling this Batman vs. Superman, the more apt title for it probably should be Man of Steel 2.
Yeah, and then I guess because Superman is still kind of like new to his powers and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, we'll continue the developing stories of Batman vs. Superman as we get them over the next coming 2 years now. It's going to be a long wait. And, of course, all the other superhero movies that will be coming out over the next few years. Going to take another short break. This time we're going to be checking out a track made by our very own brother from Fanboys Anonymous, Eddie Siqueira. This one's called Gary On. It's actually from a game he's been developing, so check it all out. SoundCloud.com/Eddie Siqueira. Not going to spell it out here, but check out the show notes. I'll be sure to give you a good link to it. Check out a fun little tune. It's called Gary On. And we're back here on Geek Speak on Mega Powers Radio. We just finished talking about Batman vs. Superman being delayed all the way until 2016. 20,000. Woo! That'd be a real big delay. Be longer than Chinese democracy. We also talked about Justin Bieber getting arrested, big guy getting big trouble. We got one other thing we wanted to talk about as a big story. Amazon, as in Amazon.com, not the country area, planning to ship packages to you before you even buy them. Yes, drawing on its massive store of customer data, Amazon plans on shipping you items it thinks you'll like before you even click the purchase button. The company today gained a new patent for what they're calling anticipatory shipping, a system that will allow Amazon to send items to shipping hubs in areas where it believes said items will sell well. The new scheme will potentially cut delivery times down and put the online vendor ahead of its real-world counterparts. Now, the way they've had this work is that they're going to box and ship products preemptively based on what customers are searching, purchasing, and putting onto their wish lists. And the way this worked out, they're saying, may cause people to eventually receive items in the mail that they didn't even order. They're just going to speculatively ship things to people, and they're just going to appear there. And they're saying that, hey, sometimes it's going to happen, and if they end up just giving out gifts, they'll call it promotional and be okay with it. So, hey, thanks to this, we may soon be getting free stuff in the mail.
That's going to be kind of nice because I remember you post that story on, I think it was on your timeline or on the GeekSpeak page on Facebook, and I was the first one to say, well, in that case, I'm going to start liking and wishing on Mystery Science Theater 3000 DVDs.
Yeah, just keep your mouse over what you want for like hours at a time. Maybe they'll send them to you.
Oh, that'd be great, because I need to start building up my MST3K collection.
I just don't see how this is going to work. I mean, they said in the article, yeah, Amazon's going to take a hit, but I guess it's building goodwill with the customer base.
Yes, that's yeah. I'll read the exact quote. Delivering the package to the given customer as a promotional gift may be used to build goodwill.
Right.
I'm down with that.
And they seem to be down with it as well. And you know what? If they're willing to try some new stuff, hey, props to Amazon for trying to revolutionize the shipping business, because the United States Postal Service has just been sitting on their laurels for the past 75 years. They haven't done anything to get things shipping faster, and all they wanted is handouts when things were getting tough for them because places like Amazon and email were shutting them out. Well, hey, good for Amazon. With new things like Amazon Prime Air, we already talked about that a few weeks ago. We're going to start delivering packages directly to your front door with drones in as little as a half an hour in some markets. Now with this, where they might be preemptively shipping packages that you might want to local hubs, just increasing the time, even if you're in the middle of nowhere where maybe they won't have Amazon Prime Air, the ability to get packages within a day is just going to get easier and cheaper now.
Yeah, see, if you leave it up to the government to for anything, you're going to get a shoddy service. You know what I mean? When you leave it up to a corporation like Amazon, you're going to get much better output, right? This whole thing, honestly, to me, just sounds like a promotional drivel. I don't think they'll ever be able to flesh this out correctly.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, even if this is just like a temporary thing, I'll just take advantage of it. They send me free stuff? Sure, okay.
Yeah, but I think you might have to like set up accounts where you're gonna have a pool of money.
Doesn't this just seem like the kind of thing that they would just have like be doing anyway? Like, don't you think you would have more like Duck Dynasty bobbleheads in Tennessee, and maybe you'll have like, I don't know, more bike chains in New York City? Aren't these just kind of things that you're already stocking more of in these locations?
Well, I understand that. Yeah, that to me works. You know, like, all right, send it to a warehouse that's closer to these areas that people are buying stuff in mass. Okay, so the people get shit faster. But actually just sending it to you before you even buy it, like, come on.
I think, as you said in the very beginning, that's going to be something reserved for strong buyers, people that are in their prime system and are buying stuff on the, every other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those are probably the only people that get the benefits of something like that. As far as you and me, who probably order something from Amazon once a year, probably not. I have to be real lucky to get caught with something like that.
They'll be like the fucking digital Santa Claus.
Indeed. All right, we're going to wrap this up, guys. We got one final break we're going to take here. We're going to listen to one of my favorite tunes by a band called Starship Amazing. It's called This Is My Ideal World. Check them out at starshipamazing.com. Really cool dudes. Check it out now. To Geek Speak here on Mega Powers Radio. I'm Mike Paden, your host for this evening, alongside with Craig Kellerman and Travis Goss. We've already talked about Justin Bieber getting himself arrested for some crazy driving while drunk and street racing and resisting arrest, Batman vs. Superman being delayed until 2016, and Amazon preemptively shipping packages to your house. Now it's time to run down some fast news, some of the other stories that went down this week. We're going to do this real quickly and not spend too much time on each topic. First thing I wanted to touch on here, Bill Gates joined in one of the big experiments we got going across the nation right now, and that is, of course, with marijuana legalization. We've been seeing it popping up in states such as Colorado and Washington, bringing it recreational, and many other states, including our very own home state here in New York, bringing it into the medical field. Bill Gates, however, has publicly come out and stated that he indeed voted for marijuana legalization in his home state of Washington. Always a philanthropist, Gates says that he is mostly curious as to whether it'll have a detrimental or positive effect on the community and how well Washington will be able to enforce the restrictions on the usage of it. He wants to know whether they'll be able to keep that in minors' hands. Will it reduce alcohol consumption? Are there people who will use it at levels that some might think inappropriate? Will it make gangs less or more money? And how is this all going to work out? Basically, Bill Gates is just a curious guy who wants to see how this is going to affect society.
It's an experiment for him.
Yeah.
No. Honestly, no, I think he sees it more as an opportunity as a good investment. I mean, as it's being legalized across the country more and more, and it's definitely gaining a lot of ground lately, especially recently. There's definitely money. I mean, let's be honest. There's definitely a lot of money to be made here.
Are you saying Bill Gates is potentially going to invest into it?
Absolutely.
I can't see why you wouldn't. Besides, the thing is, to call this the great social experiment and all that. And the way I look at it, I can see people who would just, casually use marijuana, and I'm sure there's going to be those who would abuse it, but the same thing would go with alcohol. People socially drink, and there's some who are just straight up alcoholics.
I think you might see it as it's not as detrimental to society as alcoholism.
It really isn't. It really isn't.
Well, I think he more just wants to see whether it will or not. And I think that's what a lot of people are waiting to see. But it's good to see Bill Gates, one of the leading minds in the country, open-minded and wanting to be forward-thinking with all the things going down in this country. Someone who's not thinking as forwardly, though, or perhaps maybe he is, Quentin Tarantino, decided to put his upcoming movie that he was going to be working on, The Hateful Eight, on hold after the script leaks online. This was going to be another Western story that he was going to be working on that was set to begin shooting this upcoming winter. However, after the script for the movie leaked online, he has decided to instead shift his focus onto another project that he has been holding on to into his bank. Instead, The Hateful Eight will be released as a book. Tarantino did say that he may return to making it a film at some point in the future, saying, I could totally change my mind with this. I own the fucking thing. But at this point, he's pissed that someone decided to put it out there, and we're not getting this Western anytime soon.
I don't blame him.
No, I don't blame him either. I'm a huge, huge Quentin Tarantino fan, and I'm pissed about this story.
Like, first of all, he gave the script to a couple of people. It was probably an unfinished script. People are going to expect, this thing to be the final product, and he's going to want to make changes and everything. So, of course, why work on a project that people are going to be like, oh, I thought it was going to be this, that, or the other thing. He just doesn't want to deal with it. He's fucking Quentin Tarantino.
And we've been seeing this happen more and more in recent years. I believe it was just with the most recent Super Smash Brothers game that Nintendo put out. They're saying that they're not going to have any cutscenes in it because they're sick and tired of those cutscenes being released online before the game comes out. The internet's just ruining a lot of things for us.
Yeah, but you also got to realize, that's going to happen. You got to go with it. You got to be careful what you release to people. You got to really keep a close eye on your products.
Well, in Tarantino's case, it's saying that he only gave it to about 6 people.
Yeah. Well, one of those 6 people. That's it. That's all it takes.
What were you going to say, Travis?
No, I was just going to talk about Smash Brothers, but that was irrelevant to this story, so never mind.
Oh, all right. Well, moving on then. That big Target data breach that we had back on Black Friday, matter of fact, that we gave Fail of the Year for the 2013 GeekSpeak Awards, it's coming out now that may have all been caused by a Russian teenager. Yes, the security breach that impacted about 70 million Target customers during Black Friday may have been caused by malware that was created by a 17-year-old Russian hacker. While the suspected teenager wasn't actually responsible for perpetuating the attacks, he reportedly did write the software known as Black POS that was used after being purchased by the eventual attackers.
They catch the kid?
They have not caught the kid, and at this point, I don't even know if they can. He's in another country, and he technically didn't do anything wrong. He just wrote the software.
Okay.
There should be serious laws against writing malware and viruses.
Well,
they should really come down on shit like that.
Well, I agree, but also to keep in consideration that perhaps he was writing a program to do one thing, and then whoever got a hold of that program, they probably finished it off and made it do something totally different, and this was the result. Yeah,
but whenever you write a malicious software like that, there's nothing good to be used by it, obviously.
Oh, of course.
Even if it is like him trying to hack into his friend's Xbox accounts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally see your point. So, but yeah, that's pretty sad that it's a damn teenager, and not only that, it's a teenager from Russia.
Well, it just shows how smart this younger generation is.
And it's pretty damn scary, too.
Mm-hmm. The fact that they could breach a multi-billion-dollar corporation like Target.
You know.
And it's funny, of all the corporations, it's the one that's called Target.
Well, if you're afraid of just a retail store being breached, how about 95% of the world's ATMs? Because as of April 8th, Microsoft plans to end support for Windows XP, and as such, 95% of 420,000 ATMs across the United States will be open to security and compliance risks without the support from Microsoft.
Oh my God!
They should have been on the ball with changing that, because come on, Windows XP is outdated. Let's be honest.
Outdated, but at the same time, a lot of people don't want to upgrade, and it's not just ATMs that are going to be affected by this. Tons and tons of businesses still run all of their office computers across their entire network on XP that will be affected by this as well.
Well, you know, it's the changing of times, man.
Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You got to keep up with you know, we're living in a fast-paced society nowadays. You know, you got to keep up with technology if you want to survive.
But let's just look on the bright side. At least none of them are still running Windows 98.
Yeah, well, here's the thing that worries me. Since the big new interface that they're using is Windows 8 is made for touchscreens, are we going to have ATMs running on Windows 8 this year?
I don't know if it'd be Windows 8, maybe Windows 7, but I don't think Windows 8. Not yet, at least.
Why wouldn't you just upgrade it to the newest one?
Absolutely, why not?
Yeah, if you're going to go upgrading all the ATMs across the country, why not update them to the latest OS? I mean, hell, they're already working on Windows 9.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Of course. Come on. I mean, there's so many problems with Windows 8. But then again, you know, why not just patch?
That didn't stop them from moving on from Vista, so.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm actually using Windows Vista.
Oh, you poor bastard.
Uh-huh. It's like a firewall every 5 seconds.
Oh, goodness. Well, good news for a California woman who got a ticket recently for driving with Google Glass on. However, the officer was not able to sufficiently prove that she had the electronic device on while she was driving. Therefore, this case was thrown out of court, setting the precedent for all future cases of driving with Google Glass on. Incidentally, this woman also got out on a speeding ticket that she was pulled over for in the first place after the officer failed to properly prove that he calibrated his radar gun.
Oh.
Obviously, this officer has no idea how to work anything electronic.
Oh,
yeah, this guy's stuck on Windows Vista still, too. No, but, I mean, come on. I think the whole point of Google's Glass was, you know, so you wear it all the time.
But that's
right?
not as dangerous as texting while you're driving.
I don't know, man. Like, maybe if you're reading something on it, but, like, maybe if you have, like, a GPS thing going on the side of your eye, it might be less dangerous than actually having looking at the GPS that's under your dashboard.
Well, they did rule that if it is on, that will be a violation and you will be fined for that. They're stating it's the same type of thing of having an active video screen in the driver's vision. That's why whenever you see like those minivans with video screens set up for kids to watch stuff, it's always behind the driver's seat because that's where it has to be.
Right. Yeah, I don't see. I mean, that's like having a headset on. This is, you can't talk on your cell phone. But you can talk on a headset.
But it's visually impairing is the difference.
That's the point, yeah.
I can see that. I mean, I can see it being a problem. I can see them causing accidents with it. I mean,
but
you don't know exactly what that person's doing with the headset.
Exactly. In this case, got thrown out because the officer was not able to prove that she had it on and using it. How would an officer possibly be able to do that? How can you tell someone is using their Google Glass, especially when they're in a vehicle?
I just realized something. I saw this some time ago, that some of these future cars on the inside, on the windshield on the inside, they're going to have some sort of a visual display where you can actually check emails or Facebook or anything of that nature.
Now,
I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You can't do that.
Now, could this? I mean, how does a officer prove that you were on your cell phone?
You see you holding a cell phone up to your head.
Right, but how do they prove that then in the court of law?
Visual confirmation.
But wouldn't just having this thing on your head be visual conversation?
No, because you can't prove that it was on. That was the technicality of this one. They couldn't prove she had it on her head, but they couldn't prove that the device was active and functioning at the time.
Right.
That's why this is like such a big deal, because this was setting a precedent for how this goes moving forward. And people were following this case, especially the people over at Google from the very beginning, because this was the first time someone got pulled over with them on. Matter of fact, one of the interviews with the officer was like, I wasn't even sure what to write her a ticket for, because there really wasn't anything on the books for it.
I gotta say, that woman is damn lucky. She is so lucky. She's not only is she lucky that she got out of that ticket, but she's also lucky that she didn't get into an accident, even if that thing was on.
This is very true. All right, guys, one final story. We'll end it on a happy note here. Capcom, for all they've done wrong to us, has stated that over the next 5 years, they will be hiring 100 software developers every year for the next 5 years. Absolutely great in a market that seems like you're usually only getting less and less developers jobs. They're going to be making a total of 500, possibly even more.
So they want to go out of business?
That's what I thought too.
I'm thinking, like, aren't they like the company that's like floundering the most?
Yeah, because they got like just over $100 million in the bank right now.
Yeah, either that or they want to just they're really desperate to make that killer app that they just want to hire that guy who's going to make that video game for them.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is their Hail Mary of sorts. Maybe they got a last bit of investor funds. And they're like, all right, let's get everyone we can together and see what we can make over the next 5 years and try to get ourselves out of this hole.
I got an idea. Why don't they make a Mega Man game?
Somebody had to say that. And while we're at it, and make sure these developers aren't going to make like 20,000 variations of the same fighting game.
Jeez, man. Oh, no. Kill off Resident Evil. It's done.
Well, I wouldn't count Resident Evil out just yet. I mean, they did have some pretty. They did have like a crappy game come out, like Resident Evil 6. That wasn't very good, from what I understand.
Can we just be happy that 500 people are going to see jobs now?
Yeah, but for how long?
Well, that remains to be
5 years.
I mean, you know, and are they laying off people that are already making money with Capcom? You know, did they state that, or
no? This is all about job growth.
Yeah. I mean, if this does work for them, then great. That these guys will pull them out of the brink. That'd be a great thing. I'd love to hear that. But in the meantime, yeah, let's just see how this plays out. I mean, I'm very apprehensive about it, but hey, I've seen stranger things happen.
You know, I bet you some of those jobs are going to be in the advertisement department.
You never know. Well, it said 100.
There's a lack of advertising. You know, when they release games, like, you don't hear a lot about them sometimes.
Well, yeah, but keep in mind, this is really not much about advertising. I'm sure maybe a few of them will be in that. But for the most part, it's 100 software developers every year for at least 5 years. So you never know. They might actually pull some pretty cool stuff out of their backsides.
Well, we'll certainly be following that as it goes over the next 5 years, whether we'll see some genius ideas come out of Capcom, or perhaps we'll see Capcom's final days. All right, so we got one last thing I want to take care of, guys, here. A new weekly award segment I want to put out there, and that is for the Clown of the Week. Who has messed up the most and gotten themselves absolutely into a predicament where I think they are the biggest idiot of the week. I think it's going to be easy this week. Justin Bieber. Yeah, I don't think anyone could have possibly questioned where it was going this week. This guy, my goodness, if you haven't done enough to drag your name through the mud the last few weeks or the few months, years, whatever it's been, you had enough haters just as it was, but then you had to go and get yourself caught in whorehouses, you had to go in egg houses, and now you're going to get yourself arrested for the dumbest thing you've probably ever done, drunken driving. I'm sorry, I have absolutely no sympathy for someone who drinks and drives. One of the dumbest things you can do.
No,
and
he's
to act like you're above it.
Drunk.
And
then to act like he's above it. To act like he's done absolutely nothing wrong, and then to walk around with an attitude. Horrible role model, horrible person in general, and honestly, I hope we don't have him as part of this country too much longer.
So he's going from going to a whorehouse, egging a house, and he's going to end up in a big house.
Yeah. And if this was a perfect world, but there's no true justice, maybe the hood will visit him. I've been watching a lot of Arrow lately, so I'm hoping like Justin Bieber, you have failed this country.
Any last words?
You got an F.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap things up here. We're going to let all the hosts here give their final words about what's going on in the world. So why don't we start by asking Mr. Travis Goss, how you doing?
I'm doing there, fruitcake. Anyways, now let's see here. I'm working on another thing for Rose Colored Let's Play. That's on YouTube, which is youtube.com/Rose Colored Let's Play. Pretty simple. I am tackling Skull Monkeys. I'm going to get that finished up, and then going to tackle Yoshi's Island. That's going to be a big one. And doing some writing for an upcoming review for my other show on YouTube, which is Rose Colored Reviews. And I got a lot of ideas of what I'm going to do there for that show, but I'll keep you posted here real soon. And also, if you can reach me on Twitter, my handle is TravisScott79. You can join my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/RoseColoredReviews. And you can find me now every Thursday night here on GeekSpeak, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, with these fine gentlemen.
And Mr. Craig, how ya doing?
I'm doing good, Mike. And again, I'd like to definitely plug Fanboys Anonymous. Awesome website, and of course GeekSpeak now on Thursdays, and I guess I'll plug my Twitter, Craig Kellerman at Craig Kells Twitter. That's CraigKellz, and that's how I'm doing.
Oh, fantastic, folks! We would love to ask you how you're doing. So if you would like to tell us, please tell us on the Facebook at facebook.com/GeekSpeakLive. Tweet to us at GeekSpeakTweets, or you can even email us at GeekSpeak@MegaPowersRadio. Easy email for you to remember there. Also, be sure to tune in every week. We're here live now on Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 7 p.m. Central, MegaPowersRadio.com. And for any reason you can't join us live, we're easy to find and an archive version. You can go to FanboysAnonymous.com to get a nice page with everything where you can find us, such as our iTunes and Stitcher radio feeds. We're also on the Mega Powers Radio YouTube and lots of other places. Just search for GeekSpeak, and you're going to be sure to find us on many different listening platforms. Folks, we appreciate y'all for listening in for all the cool stories we had this week. If there's anything you want to hear us talk about, email it to us, drop us on our Facebook, whatever you like. We're also accepting music submissions. So if you are an independent artist and you would like to have your music featured during one of the breaks here on GeekSpeak on Mega Powers Radio, get in touch with us and we'll be happy to feature on here. Everyone, thank you so much. Thank you for our artists we had today, Mr. Chris Grant, Eddie Siqueira, and Starship Amazing. For Craig Kellerman, for Travis Goss, I'm Mike Paden. Thanks for listening to GeekSpeak live here on Mega Powers Radio.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
Of the juggernaut, bitch!
It's not a tumor.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa! I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane!
2 chicks at the same time.
I am the law!
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win. You die.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah!